Okay, today we want to talk about circumcision, uh, and we'll deal with that in just a moment. Here's an announcement. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, this is about as good as it gets. This is our blog, 5-year-old blog with a lot of issues. A lot of the issues we'll be talking about in these talks are found at larrysmusings.com. Okay, I started the blog back in early June 2012. My first essay was on circumcision. That's what motivated me to start blogging. And after I did that essay, I thought I was done blogging, and I turned my blog into a generalist blogger, and we dealt with quite a few subjects. But I've come back to circumcision a few times um, because to me, it's completely unnecessary. It's medically unnecessary, and it's something that is taboo to talk about in the United States. Right now in America, very few subjects you can't talk about. But infant male circumcision, routine infant male circumcision is one of them. The pediatricians in Europe laugh at their American counterparts for saying that this is necessary. It's not. Circumcision got going in the late 1800s in the US. And oddly enough, truth is stranger than fiction when I tell you how it became popularized. The medical community back then, many of whom were just quacks, who didn't have any education, who thought they may have thought they knew a lot, but didn't in reality, thought such ailments as epilepsy were caused by masturbation. And so they wanted to eliminate epilepsy. I know you're laughing and you're embarrassed and you're blushing. You're saying, what the hell is this? This is absurd. I'm not making this up. So they thought the way to stop epilepsy is to stop masturbation in males. And the way to do that was to circumcise, remove the foreskin. The penis would be less sensitive, therefore there'd be less motivation or temptation to masturbate. Bottom line is, masturbation has nothing to do with the presence or absence of a foreskin. It has much more to do with full seminal glands that need release and the sexual tension from the hormones in males. People must have questioned that after a few decades, because then the justification for it, for routinely circumcising infant males in the US, was because somehow this would protect wives from getting cervical cancer. Well, that myth has been debunked too. Additional myths now are that it somehow will reduce the spread of AIDS. I think we should stress education and not mutilation of baby boys to reduce the spread of AIDS, HIV. Cleanliness, absurd. A natural male who is not circumcised can clean his foreskin and his genitals just as any woman can clean her genitals. So hygiene and cleanliness concerns are nonsense. They also thought that this would reduce circumcision would reduce the spread of venereal diseases or STDs or sexually transmitted infections, whatever you want to call them. That's not supportable. Urinary tract infections, UTIs in infant males. Okay, those are very rare, can be treated with antibiotics, does not justify removing the foreskin. Parents, resist the doctors that are telling you you need to circumcise your baby boys. You don't need to, and you'll be put under a lot of pressure to do so because the doctors and interns that do these surgeries 1,000,000 times a year in the United States have a vested financial interest in keeping this needless surgery, keeping this practice going. No other industrial country in the world does this. No other industrial developed country in the world does circumcisions. Or, Jews and Muslims for religious reasons may do it, but the general population that's doing it for non-religious reasons is not heard of in the industrialized world. So think about that. Circumcision is the exception, not the rule. What's the harm in circumcision? It basically, as Kristen O'Hare wrote in her book back in 2002, Sex as Nature Intended It, circumcision is basically sexual reduction surgery. Whether it's female genital mutilation, which for more than 20 years now in this country we've had a federal law prohibiting, or if it's amputation of the foreskin on the male. You're abnormalizing sex for both the man and the woman. That's harming marriages. It's making sexual intimacy less fulfilling and more difficult to achieve for married persons. So is, the bottom line is it's not medically necessary and it does a lot of harm. So parents, do not consent to the doctors and nurses putting you under pressure to circumcise your baby boys. Get the word out here, watch other videos on YouTube, educate yourself about it, and you'll be compelled to come to the conclusion. We can't stop the harm that's already been done, but for the future, we can make it better for our sons and grandsons, for our children and our grandchildren. Thank you. Go check out our blog, lots of essays, use the search function, scroll up and down the home page. You may find something that's of interest and of value to you. We've blogged on a lot of issues. larrysmusings.com over on WordPress. Thank you.